You better stay away, this place is cursed. Disobey and you'll be buried away in the dirt. Envision your darkest nightmares. This is worse, it's the Clown Motel.
Yes, sir. You better stay away, this place is cursed. Hear what I'm saying, we ain't playing the thirst. To bring you pain is the sentence.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. This is the Paranormal Junkyard with James and
Jamie.
Today is Saturday, November 23rd, 2019. And we are with our special guest right now. His name is Johnny Perotti. He's the founder of Grave House Productions, solo paranormal investigator, and he was formerly a part of Paranormal Crossroads Live. Johnny will be on Travel Channel's My Paranormal Nightmare. He has also plays Hammy in the indie horror film Clown Motel. Johnny's studied the paranormal for about 15 years, started on teams, but now he does more guest investigating with other teams. Welcome to the Joes, Johnny.
Shorty.
Thank you.
So, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing really good. So I take it that you're. I guess it's okay if we talk about you doing an investigation tonight.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
I'm in Palmyra, New York, historic Palmyra. They do have 4 haunted buildings here, a museum, general store, and actually especially like 4 museums that are very active.
That is awesome. So, you've been doing, I take it, the investigating for about 15 years. I guess that's correct. That's what you sent in to us. So,
Yep.
Can you tell us about some of your, most
experience that you have had when you was doing the investigations, the most experience that you have had with spirits and stuff?
Okay. Well, I started when I was younger. I lived in a house that was very haunted. But I'll talk more about that on my paranormal nightmare show. The whole episode is about me and my brother and our experiences as kids with the paranormal. But experience-wise as an investigator, yesterday. So I've been here in Palmyra. We investigated last night, and then we're doing again tonight. But last night we seen a full-body apparition behind one of the investigators, which was pretty cool. I've been here to this location a bunch of times, but I've never seen a full body apparition here. That was the first time I've seen that in this location.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of, well, not really a couple, just one full body apparition. It scared the crap out of me, actually, because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any, scary experiences while investigating? Something that spooked you?
Yeah, I've had a few things that actually scared me pretty good. One of the first things I had, I was in the Buffalo Central Terminal in Buffalo, New York. And I was walking down a hallway it's a really long hallway, but it's very narrow. So you have all the old office doors on each side. And when I was walking, I noticed like a big glowing figure. It was huge, but it was glowing white, and it was way far in the back of the room. And as I got closer to that door, it instantly came across the room and was right in my face. And it actually scared me enough to I fell into the door on the other side and messed that up a little bit, but it was probably like one of the most close-up physical things that scared me the most.
Wow. I've never had anything like that. I've usually just mostly caught stuff like on EVPs and things like that.
I have experienced...
Yeah, I've had a lot of physical stuff.
I have too. The first thing I've ever... what's the word? Experienced was when I was at my aunt's house, and there was this full apparition standing, and it looked like an older man. And next thing you know, the knives off the dresser come flying off and missed me by an inch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was only 6 years old.
Wow, sure, that was pretty scary. It's similar to some of my experiences as a child, but never nice. But we had other things fly across the room and come off of windows and shelves and things like that.
Yeah.
So, during reading your bio, it said that you played Hammy on Clown Motel.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
So there's a guy in LA that is a producer and director, writer, and a guy in Rochester, New York, where I live. And they do a film festival every year, one in LA, one in New York. And they had reached out to me to talk at the film festival on the paranormal. So I met with them. We did it that first year. I kind of became friends with them and did it for a couple of years in a row. And then at about the third year, he said that he had started funding for the feature film that he was making called Clown Motel. And he's like, I have a part that I think you'd be perfect for. And we talked it over, and I said yes to it before I ever read the script. And I'm like, yeah, for sure, I'll do it. Then I read the script, and I was like, holy shit, what did I sign up for? But it was a great experience. And we filmed at the actual Clown Motel in Tonopah, Nevada. And then filmed a little bit in Las Vegas and Boulder City and some of the caves in that area.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw the movie about a couple weeks before you got a hold of me, and it's definitely not what I expected it to be.
I truly did like it. I loved it. I really did.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So you guys have both seen my butt now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it was a fun experience. It took me out of my comfort zone a little bit, but it was fun. I mean, it was a great time. We're actually going to be filming number 2, I believe in April or May of the coming next year. So I will be in that as well. So I've been told, but it was just a good time. We filmed. I made a lot of good friends and good friends now with Ari Lehman, who's the first Jason, Friday the 13th. Great guy. Got to work with a lot of really talented people in that movie.
We need him to come on our show tomorrow night because we're talking about serial killers.
I could reach out, see if he's available. He does a lot of cons, and he headlines the band First Jason, so he's always touring and doing shows all around the country.
That would be awesome if you could reach out to him and see if he would do that.
Sure, I'll toss him your guys' info and see what he says if he's available.
That would be awesome. What are some of your other experiences while ghost hunting?
Man, I've had a lot a lot of things. One of the first organized investigations I ever did was in Cattaraugus, New York. I had just joined a team. It was literally the first investigation we ever did as this team. And I have somewhat of abilities to like attract spirits and sometimes see them. And we were in the upstairs of the house, and we were given information by the bank because they actually had foreclosed on the house. The bank gave us information of a woman who committed suicide there, and we had a picture of her, everything. And me and one of my other investigators, Jake Ridley, we were investigating, just me and him upstairs, and I was speaking to her, and she has the same name as my sister, and I had the picture, and I was telling her, you're very pretty. And the more I was talking, we heard footsteps come all the way across the hallway, all the way down, like right up to in front of me. And when it got in front of me, he said on the camera it was a full white mist that he could see in front of me. And right after that, the closet door it flew open.
Power off.
Really?
Just 1 second. I'm having Bluetooth
Power
problems.
on. Bluetooth pairing.
Oh.
Bluetooth connected.
Okay, you still there? Sorry about that.
Yep. No problem. It's paranormal.
But yeah, we've been having some Bluetooth problems. We're getting new equipment here soon and shouldn't have any more of those.
It happens.
So if you want to... it looks like we're coming up on a break, so please stay tuned. We've been talking with Johnny Perotti, and
down to Georgia, he was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man sawing on a fiddle and playing it hot, and the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what. I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you'd care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I bet a fiddle would go."
Okay.
welcome back. You're listening to the Paranormal Junkyard with James and
Jamie.
And we're talking with our special guest, Johnny Perotti, here. And he was just telling us a little about his paranormal investigations. And if you want to continue with one of your paranormal investigation stories, that would be great.
Sure. I've had a lot of different things. I'm trying to think of some good ones that we've experienced. It's weird. When I was younger, I had the ability where, like, I could see spirits all the time, and it'd be everywhere. And then as I got older, that had kind of faded. Like, I didn't see them the way I used to. But we had just investigated at Madison Seminary in Ohio. A little shout out to Adam Kimmel that runs that. Does a phenomenal job with that building. That building actually be on Destination Fear on the Travel Channel. I want to say within the next couple of weeks, that location will be on there. It was one of the first times when I went in, I actually seen a bunch of spirits that looked just like people again, just basically wandering around. It was very weird, but I haven't seen that again. So it was kind of a one experience as an adult, something I don't get to see all the time.
Wow. Yeah, I'm from Ohio, but I don't think I ever recall hearing about that, or the place that you was talking about.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of my, I'd say since I've been there now, it's probably one of my top locations to go to.
I have a question. Have you ever investigated anywhere down in Alabama?
I have not. I would love to, but I haven't made it too far south. I think I did a little area in North Carolina by myself before, private areas, but that's about as far down as I've gone. And a little bit in LA when I was out there.
Yeah, there is a really good place down here where I am at. I'm in Fort Payne. It's the old abandoned rundown hospital. They have been apparitions of a demon seen with red glowing eyes, and then a little boy with red glowing eyes. I've been in the hospital before, just snooping around if no one's supposed to. I still did it. And this little boy come up to me and threw a ball at me. And I felt it hit my back. And I turned around and there wasn't nothing there. And then I went out and went back to my cousin's house. And I told her to look at my shoulder. And there was scratch marks going from one side of my shoulder all the way down to my lower back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sure, that must have scared you.
No, not really.
Wow. I've only been scratched, like, I want to say maybe one time. I got scratched at the Hinsdale house. That's about it.
Well, last night I was in the shower. After I got out the shower, before I got out the shower, I had a hand touch me on my shoulder and I about fell.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to work with somebody on how to control your ability. Hone it in.
See, I know how to keep them away, but it's kind of hard if I can't explain it.
Yeah.
So
what was your guys' favorite part of Clown Motel?
When I first saw the piggy.
Yeah, they made me do terrible things. Joseph Kelly that wrote it, directed it. He's a mean guy. Yeah, that scene, the ham scene, was supposed to be way worse. I was supposed to be fully naked, and when I dropped the ham, I was supposed to turn around with a clown condom on, but I refused to do it. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So we negotiated, and instead I ended up with party hats on my nipples and still had to bang a ham, though.
Yeah.
It's all right. The ham still texts me today.
Oh, Lord.
So, I don't know. A lot of people think that paranormal investigating is always seeing spirits or catching things on EVP and things like that. But I know from experience that sometimes you can sit for hours and not catch anything or nothing at all during the entire investigation. Does that Does that happen to you quite a lot?
I would say 95% of investigating is just eating snacks and joking around because nothing happens.
Oh, well, we investigated this place we was staying in. I was in here laying down one night. He was playing with EVP. And he heard a voice that said, "Get out." And he ran in here and he was like scared to death.
Wow.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, we get a lot of get outs and stuff like that, but the majority of your investigation, you're just wandering around with nothing. Like, it's been pretty quiet here for the 2 days. 2 full days of investigating and not much activity.
Oh, wow.
And this place is usually amped up, but it's been pretty quiet. But that's what it is, you know. You can't. They don't work on command.
Right.
So, what other things have you had anything happen to you in the last 2 days?
Besides seeing the apparition behind one of our investigators, we haven't really had anything else. Tonight I've only been in this one building. I haven't made it over to the other one yet. That's usually where one of the hot spots for me. But I haven't got over there yet tonight.
Do you have any other stories that you could tell us? Maybe, I don't know, have you been like touched or pushed or anything thrown at you, or any other people that you've worked around that's had that happen to them?
Yeah, actually, when I had first investigated at the Hinsdale house in Hinsdale, New York, it's owned by Dan Class, another great guy who saved a historic haunted location. He saved it and brought it back and turned it into an place where you could investigate safely, and it's very active. One of the first times I went there, I had got scratched pretty bad on my back, and besides that, I actually slept in the house overnight, and when I had woke up, the sole of my shoe was actually ripped off.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't connected at all. Yeah, that was one of the craziest experiences I had there. Girls are yelling at me, and they're ghost hookers.
So, what time? Okay. I don't really have too many more questions, but I love hearing the different experiences that you've had.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of weird stuff. So another thing we had was actually while we were filming the Clown Motel. We were in the Clown Motel. We stayed there for, I think we were 10 days. That we actually stayed in the hotel while we were filming. And my roommate was actually my makeup artist, and his name is Nicholas Vincent. He goes by Clown Envy, so he does a character that he actually dresses up as a clown, like on the regular. So he was my roommate. He's gay. So we were having a discussion about him being gay. Like, I had just met, the first time I met him, we had talked on the computer a little bit, discussing how we were going to create the character. But we're in the room talking about that, and every time we would bring that up, we had a bag of stuff that flew out of the closet onto the floor, and then we had a blanket actually get pulled off one of the beds as if like somebody was underneath pulling it off.
Another ant situation. Nope.
Yeah, it was an interesting time. The Clown Motel is actually, it's pretty cool. It's changed now. It changed owners, and he repainted it and made it very different than it was. But it's a very cool location. One I'm excited. I'm hoping. I'm not sure if I'm in scenes at the motel again for number 2. So I'm hoping I am, so I get to investigate there a little more.
So, How much research did you do about the Clown Motel before you started your part as Hammy on there? Did you do much research?
Yeah, I knew a pretty good amount before, and then I researched more into the town itself and the motel and the cemetery next to it, and found a lot of cool stuff. I mean, all the miners were caught in the mine fire out there, and it kind of goes along with the story of Clown Motel. He kind of based it off of the history of the town. All the miners burned in a fire, and the bodies that they were able to recover, they buried them in the cemetery that's connected to the motel. So you have the entire cemetery to go through with all the miners. One of the oldest cemeteries in America, I believe. So that was pretty cool. And it's just weird having a cemetery that close to the motel you're staying in.
Right.
Well, they wasn't one too far from where we was staying over at my aunt and uncle's. It was maybe like a half a mile, if that.
Oh, well. Yeah, this is like 5 feet.
I've stayed in the cemetery for like 2 weeks before. Slept in a cemetery.
Power
There we go
off.
again. Every 15
Well,
minutes.
there goes the Bluetooth again. Hold on 1 second.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Sorry
Sorry
about
about that.
No problem.
Okay, what was I saying?
that. Cemetery.
About staying in the cemetery.
Yeah, I stayed in a cemetery for about 3 weeks. And
Wow.
yeah, every single night you would get a different person. And then there was about
Oh, that's cool.
5 or 6 people standing there in a circle, hovering over me, wearing all black.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That
That would
happened,
have freaked me out a little bit.
that happened all in one night, and then it was like the whole ground started shaking after they started hovering over me. The whole ground started shaking. And all you seen
Wow.
was these things up above you, and the rest of everywhere else was black, and you could hear movement farther on out around you, and it sounded like stuff being ripped up out the ground, along with the ground shaking. Yeah,
Pretty intense.
it was. Tell him a story. Tell him a story.
I don't know. I've visited a couple of train tunnels. One of them being really close to where Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where the Mothman was spotted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually that's where my full body apparition was. Me and my friends were going through the train tunnel, and there was 4 of us, and 2 of them went on ahead, and me and one of my friends stayed back and was going to play a trick on the other 2. And when they never came back, we came out of the tunnel and was going down the path, which had hills on both sides, and there was no way you could get around to where they was going. But I could have swore that I saw one of them peek out from behind the bushes and then go back, and then we walked right past where they peeked out from. Nobody there.
Wow.
And then got a little further back, and one of my other friends actually fell out from behind a bush. Was going to play a prank on us, and I kept looking back. I'm like, that wasn't that friend. And we got back to the car, and that friend that I had saw come out from behind the bush and go back was at the car. So there's no way possible that they could have got from where they were to the car without us seeing them. And that was my full body apparition that I saw.
That
Isn't it crazy how that stuff happens?
Yeah, that probably would have scared the living crap out of that little kid he's talking about. He probably dropped everything where he was and took off to his mama.
Actually, I don't know if I put it on my Instagram or if it was on my Facebook. I had posted a video when I was at the location I'm at right now. It's here a few years back. We were filming with the TV show Ghost Detectives, and me and one of my buddies, we were watching the monitors in the location, actually sitting right where I'm sitting now. And it's an older building, and the door, it has one of those like latches. You gotta push the little piece down, for it to open. And we heard somebody come up the ramp to the side, but we were looking at the monitors and we didn't see anyone. And then all of a sudden, the door swung open. We have it all on camera. I posted the video a few days ago, but I don't know if I did it on Instagram or not. So the door swung open by itself. He ran over there and checked. There's nobody out there. So that was one of the weird things we've had happen here before. And I've had, I actually had my hat get lifted off my head. I got poked in the face here before. It's usually a pretty active location, but it seems like last night and today is pretty quiet here, but hopefully it picks up later today.
Right. So it looks like we're coming up on our mid-break. You're listening to the Paranormal Junkyard with Johnny Perotti as our special guest, and we'll be right back.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from its slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on.
I'm your boogeyman, that's what I am. I'm here to do whatever I can. Be it early morning, late afternoon, or at midnight. It's never too soon to wanna please you, to wanna...
Oh, sorry, I was talking to someone else.
Hello, you have been listening to the Paranormal Junkyard
with our special guest, Johnny Perotti. And we've just been listening to some of his paranormal investigation stories and his experiences on Clown Motel as Hammy. So I just can't help but do that.
I get up and I
don't think anybody says Hammy with a straight face.
I seriously do.
So I forget what we was talking about before the break, but did you have any other experiences or any other locations that you've done that I don't know that?
Trying to think.
Have you ever
So I've had some... Go ahead.
Have you ever come in contact with any demons?
No, I never any demons. I've had some like attachments that, messed stuff up in my house a little bit and kind of made me stop investigating for about a year and a half, but so I got that cleared up and then realized what I had to do to protect myself better. But yeah, no demons. I don't know. Like my thoughts on demons, most of the things that people call demons aren't demons. You know, there's just, you know, just like in regular life. Some people are mean and, you know, stuff happens that way, but a demon is something pretty serious. And if you're dealing with a demon, it's pretty obvious. They'll take total control of your life. And, you know, it's not something that you could be like, oh, I have a demon and can you come check this out? Like, I just don't feel it would be like that.
Right. Would you say that most things are like I guess they call it residual, where it's not really haunting, or?
I would say it's a lot of residual. I think it's a lot of energy that, you know, energy sits and energy stores itself. And I just feel like a lot of that, you know, replays itself.
Right.
It just replays itself in time and in different moments. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of scientific proof that you transfer energy into things.
So, am I hearing someone else in the background with you?
Yeah, they were just investigating the basement here. A lot of them just came up. I'm with Joe Pieri of Paranormal Crossroads, a couple of the other investigators that used to be on the show with us as well, and then I'm here with Paranormal Spirit Seekers. They are out of Canada. It's an all-female group. They're joining us here tonight.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of the Paranormal Spirit Seekers. I think I follow them on Instagram, actually.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're all right. They're not great. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're great. It's a lot of fun to investigate with them. We became good friends after just a random meeting. We actually had met at this location. They were coming here, and I had seen that, and I was in the area, and I was like, "Are you guys okay if I join you?" And I joined them, and we've done a lot of investigations together since. Became really good friends.
That's awesome. It's always fun meeting people and doing things like that.
Yes, we gotta get our equipment and stuff together so that we can start doing them again.
Yeah, I mean, you could use basic stuff. My feeling, I don't use a lot of equipment when I investigate. I'm not big into the electronics. I feel, you know, a lot of it is manipulated. It's not as much spirit activity. Like, a lot of people use these, you know, these machines that have word banks. Like, it's a built-in word bank. It's going to spit out a word. That's what it's created to do. You know, it's not paranormal. It's the word bank working.
Right.
But some people love that stuff and live on it, but it's not for me. I'm basic recorder, flashlight, personal experience, some, you know, spirit boxes where you're using the radio, not a built-in thing. You can give a word and ask for them to say it. You know, you're not using a word bank.
Right. So, what different kind of equipment do you personally use besides, do you use, like, your phone at all to do the EVP recordings, or, how do you
I actually use an actual recorder just because it's easier, and when I'm with a lot of other people, you know, there's some stuff that if you use a phone, it can affect other equipment, so I just stick with basic recorders. I use a UV light, because I'm big into investigating, you know, in complete darkness, but at the same time, it's hard to see if there's shadows, anything like that, so if you use a UV light, you can see a lot better.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I've done asking all my questions I wanted to ask. Well.
Nothing else?
Do you have anything you want to tell us about?
I don't know. Grave House Productions. It's a company I started and decided to go on my own. And, I'd always been in different teams, but the team aspect is fun. But there's always something I've always wanted to do on my own is, film a certain things and tie it into the paranormal. So I have something I've been working on that, ties in some interesting stuff locally into the paranormal. So I'm planning on finishing that up probably I would hope by the beginning of the year. And I plan on releasing that. And I think that'll be something that's pretty cool when it comes out. I'll give a little more details when I'm ready to release it, but there's a lot of death involved, a lot of weird areas and murders and just different things in this area that have occurred over the years. And I'm going and investigating those areas and telling the story, telling the history, telling, biography on people and tying in the paranormal to that.
So, so you talk about Grave House Productions?
Yep, that's the company I started.
Okay.
Power
There
on.
goes the Bluetooth. We gotta get a better equipment.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Sorry about that again.
That should be the last time that happens. Sorry.
No problem.
Faulty equipment. That happens to us all the time. How much do you, whenever you're investigating, how much do you equate paranormal experiences recorded on equipment to just faulty equipment?
I'm very skeptic and big into trying to debunk things that happen on equipment. So I don't know. It's got to be pretty set in stone clear for me to take it as something when it happens on equipment or EVPs. Like, they got to be clear. I can't just have a whisper or a noise. I just can't. Yeah, I can't go by that.
So with all the different experiences that you've had, I know people see shadows. Some of them they call shadow people. Have you came across any shadows that you would equate to being shadow people, or like anything that'd be like poltergeist activity? Have you ever done personal investigations in homes?
Yep. Yeah. I actually, when I first started, that was a lot of what I was doing was private homes. They would have us come in. The one in Cattaraugus where the figure walked up to me and the door opened, that was actually a private home. And I seen shadow figures there. And we had the house was really old and run down. And when we were upstairs, another one of our investigators was downstairs. And he's a good buddy of mine. He's a veteran and a skeptic, but like, his word is gold. Like, whatever he says, it's legit. He doesn't make stuff up. And I heard a loud crash, and I thought he went through the floor, to be honest. So I yelled downstairs to him, and he was like, "Get down here." And when we got down there, one of our big Pelican cases he said it literally was thrown across the room into the wall. And he was flipping out.
So we've had a few medium psychics on the show. Have you ever worked with any mediums or psychics or anything like that during an investigation?
Yeah, we have we had a couple that work with us. We actually have one here now that has some ability. It's good when, you know, they see and feel things, and then you can, you know, back that up with evidence.
Right.
See, my fiance here, he can't see, but I can see, but he feels and I can feel. But when I get the feeling, mine is more, how do you explain it? Eerie? Is that the word for it?
Could be.
I think the word is eerie because it's like the goosebumps. When I get goosebumps, I tense up so bad that it's for real. And I start
that's
twitching.
that's your sign to let you know that something's going to happen.
So do you get like the feelings whenever you're on investigations, like you need to get like out of a room or something bad's going to happen?
I've had a few times where I was like, I've gotten emotional, or I knew I shouldn't be in somewhere. My biggest issue is when I get that, I don't listen. And they're like, get out. And I'm like, I'll just hang out a minute, see what happens. But yeah, I've definitely had times where I just knew I was somewhere I shouldn't be at, but fortunately it didn't stop me.
All right, so it looks like we're coming up on our final break. So you've been listening to Paranormal Junkyard with our special guest, Johnny Perotti, and we'll be right back.
Can you keep it? Swear this one you save. Better lock it in your pocket. Taking this one to the grave. If I show you that I know you won't tell what I said. 'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Why do you smile like you've been told a secret? Now you're telling lies 'cause you just want to keep it. But no one keeps a secret. No one keeps a secret. Why, when we do our darkest deeds, do we tell? They burn and our brains become a living hell.
And welcome back. We are pretty much out of time, so if anyone wants to get a hold of you, you can go ahead and give your information.
Sure. My Instagram is my name. It's JOHNNY_PEROTTI. You can, invite me to investigate, take me out somewhere, follow me, whatever you want to do. Reach out. I like joining, helping out with other teams.
Awesome. Yeah, and if anyone is listening to the podcast, if they can't get a hold of you on Instagram, they can contact us and we can forward you the information.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll work too. Everybody go out and buy Clown Motel. It's available online. It's sold in about 18 other countries as well. We're just in 47 theaters in Turkey. So it made it worldwide. Something we weren't expecting it to get as big as it did. But number 2 will be being filmed April or May. You could buy it online now. It was in Walmart nationwide, but I believe it has sold out in store throughout the country, but it's still available online. Amazon, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, video on demand, Amazon Prime. Yep.
Yeah, I think we watched it on Netflix, actually.
Yeah, I think it was Netflix.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know it's on Tubi TV, a couple other things. I didn't know it was on Netflix yet. That's kind of cool.
It could have been Tubi TV.
No, it was Netflix because we was laying there and we had nothing but Netflix.
Okay.
Interesting. Hopefully they're paying us.
But it's been a really interesting conversation with you. We was really happy to have you on the show tonight, and maybe you can come back in the future whenever maybe Clown Motel 2 comes out.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, and I will spread the word, try to get some more guests for you guys.
Most definitely.
Peace out, y'all.
You better stay away, this place is cursed. Disobey and you'll be buried away in the dirt. Envision your darkest nightmares. This is worse since the Clown Motel.
Yes, sir. You better stay away, this place is cursed. Hear what I'm saying, we ain't playing the thirst. To bring you pain is insane, it's death that they serve at the Clown Motel. Yes, sir. Back in the 1930s, this place was found. It was a gold mine paradise built solely for clowns. A safe place, getaway, full of joy all around until they burn it down to the ground. Now the smiling faces are upside down. All frowns from the clowns and now haunt these grounds. In the flames they drown, but some way, somehow, they aim to stay. So it's